Hey everybody, it's Olivia Rondo, and first and foremost, I gotta say I'm super excited. My power just flickered on and off. Anyways, I'm super excited to launch my Rokfin page. It was supposed to go up a couple weeks ago. If you guys have kept up with my Twitter, I was going through a lot for the past month or so. So I had a few videos that I wanted to put up and that they were pre-filmed, all ready to go and everything. And then they kind of became irrelevant in the news cycle as soon as I was kind of ready to start making content again. So here I am recording a different video, different topic, and one that is actually pretty relevant because I do pride myself into, I pride myself in making entertaining and relevant content. So the topic of today's video, vaccinations. We're talking about vaccines and how they've impacted and how they are marketed to the Black community, especially how it relates to the COVID-19 vaccine. So let's get into it. Before I begin, shout out to my sister for bringing me my extra matcha green tea latte from Starbucks just a few minutes ago. And yes, that's why my tongue is green. Don't mention it. So far, only 3% of the American population has been vaccinated against COVID-19, and certain states have actually conducted studies to see if there have been racial disparities between the vaccination rates. And there have been, very much so. Pennsylvania actually has the most dramatic disparity between the races, as white Pennsylvania residents are much more likely to be vaccinated than Black Pennsylvania residents. 1.2% of white people in Pennsylvania have been vaccinated, as opposed to 0.3% of Black people in Pennsylvania that have been vaccinated. So both of those numbers are pretty small, but in short, that means for every 4 white people that go and get vaccinated, only 1 Black person goes to get vaccinated in the state of Pennsylvania. There has been a lot of speculation as to why that is. I have seen countless think pieces, mainly by white people, countless think pieces about medical racism and white supremacy stopping Black people from getting this vaccine, but I am just not buying it. I don't think that is the main reason why Black people are not getting vaccinated as much or at the same rate as white people. I think it's about Black distrust of the medical community. And yes, that is rooted in white supremacy. If we go back into history, which we will, there have been countless reasons for the Black American community to distrust the medical industry. So according to a Kaiser Family Foundation survey back in December, 1/3 of Black American adults don't plan on getting the COVID vaccination, and 1/2 of Black American adults are fearful that they will actually get COVID from the COVID vaccination. And people in the medical community, they're gonna laugh at that. They're gonna say that's not possible. And maybe it isn't possible. I'm not a medical expert. I'm not here to judge people's fears about the COVID vaccine. Vaccines are not 100% perfect. I'm not an anti-vaxxer nor a pro-vaxxer. I'm pro-choice on putting what you want into your body, but that's besides the point. People are going to say, oh, Black people are just uneducated on this issue. Black people are afraid for no reason. But I think there is a historical basis for these fears. According to the same study, about half of the Black Americans who do plan on getting vaccinated say they would wait to see how it worked out on other people. I'm guessing that means white people, the general white population. This is opposed to only 36% of the white population who plans to get vaccinated saying the same thing. So why would Black people who do want to get vaccinated say, hey, I don't want to get it just yet, let's see how it plays out? Well, I'll tell you, because the United States government, the big pharmaceutical companies, they have experimented on Black people in the past. And no, this is not me being a crazy conspiracy theorist, which I kind of am sometimes, but no, it is a well-known fact. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video. Let's go back into history to see why Black people seem to be skeptical of COVID vaccinations compared to white people, and how the government and the healthcare system has responded into courting Black people and to pandering Black people to get them to take this vaccination. So I'm going to bring up the most famous example of medical discrimination against Black folks in the United States. This is definitely not the most heinous, but it's the one that people are most familiar with because it's the one that the United States government actually acknowledged and the one that broke out, and it's fairly recent. It's the Tuskegee experiment. Everyone's heard of it if they've done one Google search about it. But I believe that's one of dozens or even hundreds or thousands of experiments or mistreatments of Black people in the medical community. And that's just the one that they decided to let the public know about because it was already coming out. Anyways, in short, if you don't know what it is, basically in 1932, syphilis was pretty much untreatable. They promised 600 Black men who were mostly sharecroppers, which is a fancy term for slavery, the promise of free healthcare, free treatment if they participated in a study. They told the black men that they were being treated for bad blood, which was just kind of a catch-all term for you're sick, we're going to figure out how to treat you. Little did they know that they were being injected with syphilis, and they started dying from it. They were given placebo pills, mostly aspirin and other mineral supplements, but they were in great pain and discomfort the whole time. I don't know if you guys have ever had syphilis. I have not, but it is a horrible, horrible disease. This study went on for 40 years. From 1932 to 1972, dozens of black men were infected with syphilis, perished from syphilis, or side effects. The end count was 28 participants died directly from syphilis, 100 died from complications from syphilis, 40 spouses, aka their wives, caught syphilis, and 19 babies were born with syphilis as a result of this experiment. This was a government-funded research project. The United States government specifically targeted Black American males who were poor, were desperate for free health care, and infected them and killed them, passed it along to their wives and children, and had zero remorse for it until 1972 when the story broke out, went to the press, and then they were like, we're shutting this down, we don't like racism, blah, 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 blah. 1972, I don't know how old you guys are. I'm sure a lot of my audience was born in the 70s or even before the 70s. My parents were born in the 60s, okay? My grandfather could have been one of the men that was infected with syphilis. My grandmother could have been infected with syphilis. My dad could have been born with syphilis because this took place within their lifetime. It took until 1997 for President Clinton to actually issue a formal apology from the United States government. That was 4 years before I was born. This shit is not old at all. So when you have the medical community, when you have the United States government telling black people, just trust us, just trust this experimental vaccine that has been just produced in this past year, just trust us. No. I mean, that's your prerogative. But I don't really see the disconnect when people are asking, why don't black people want to get vaccinated? Why don't black people want to go to the doctor? Why don't black people want to do this? They want to be able to trust their doctors. They want to be able to trust their health care, but they just can't. And that's the reason why the government has time and time again failed black people, especially in terms of medical care. So you really can't blame them. The last Tuskegee experiment participant passed away in 2004. That was not very long ago. That was within my lifetime, and I'm pretty young, okay? I just turned 20. So the majority of people were alive for this shit, okay? The majority of the people that are trying to get vaccinated, the older generation, they were alive for this shit. This could have happened to their parents themselves. Okay, that's why black people distrust the medical community. That's why black people distrust the United States government. This isn't doctors just not wanting to give black people the vaccine. They're like, hey, you guys are black, we don't want to give you the good medicine. This is not what's happening. If it is happening, I'd like to see some proof of that. But for now, I believe that the majority of the reason that black people don't want to get vaccinated is because of the distrust that they rightfully have. So now that we have taken a look at a little bit of the history behind why black people distrust the medical community, let's look at the government and the medical community's response while they try to pander black people into getting the vaccine. Okay, so I'm about to play a video that Andrew Cuomo posted on his Twitter. It is from an organization called Hip Hop Public Health. I wonder who that is trying to cater to. Let's take a look-see at this. This is my first time watching the full thing. I've been tagged in this, DM'd this so many times, and every single time I get tagged and I watch the first 5 seconds, I'm just so confused. I'm like, this is too much. I don't want to watch this. But I'm gonna watch the full thing. It's about a minute long. Okay, so far the lyrics are, I got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine, we need to get back to normal, let's all take the vaccine. Is this Run DMC? Wait. I knew that voice sounded familiar. This is literally DMC. Wow. They really got a real rapper to do this. How much they paying you? How much are they paying you, Daryl? Yeah, Daryl. How much are they paying you to do this shit? Anyways, let's keep watching this shit because this is fucking hilarious. Unity for you and me. It is DMC, bro. This COVID thing is real. This killing our people. This is corny as fuck. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real. I can't do this. I'm not gonna say it's not catchy. It's definitely fun. I like the beats.
I thought it was fun. I like the beat. So.
But the lyrics, the fact that they literally, somebody paid this man from Run DMC to do this shit, first of all. Not to mention the corny ass animation they did with this shit. Got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. Come on, black people, sing it with me. COVID-19 is killing our people. We got to trust the government right now. Trust the government. We got to trust the government. They have always known what's best for black people. I can't rap. I need Patriot J to hop on this track. So that's what the Newark governor, Andrew Cuomo, posted on his Twitter to some type of way appeal to black people. And so, like I said, this is from Hip Hop Public Health. Fostering positive health behavior change among youth through the transformative power of music, art, and science. Okay, by youth, I'm gonna take it, that means black people. I love how they show these black doctors in the background like, yeah, we made this vaccine. We trust the government. We know what we're doing. Yeah. I want to see who made this video. Let's go. We're going to Hip Hop Public Health, hhph.org. I am going to note that the executive director and CEO is a white lady named Lori, so I'm going to take everything that Lori says with a grain of salt. I'm also going to make the assumption that Dr. Olugbenge Ogedidigbe is not American, and neither is Dr. Olojide Williams. I am going to assume that they are African. So looking at the site, 5 out of the 13 board members of this hip hop public health organization are black. Looking into them, one is Doug E. Fresh, and he is actually an honorary board member. So let me just remove Doug E. Fresh, a very, very super famous rapper from the equation. So there's 4 black medical professionals on this organization. 2 of them are clearly African. That's not a negative thing. I'm just saying they are not ADOS. They're not an American descendant of slavery. In short, they were not the ones being experimented on from 1930s to 1970s. They were not slaves or sharecroppers here. They were not the ones being experimented on. So I'm seeing what I believe to be 2 black Americans on this board. That kind of worries me. The rest are either white or Asian. So red flag to me. That's not to say that white people and Asian people can't be doctors, but when you're making an organization called Hip Hop Public Health that is clearly geared to getting black people to get vaccination, and you only have 2 black Americans who would have actually been affected by this medical distrust in the black community on the board out of 13 people, I do have a slight issue. So Andrew Cuomo, I question why you posted this. It's a cartoon with Run DMC with all these cool hip black doctors in the background going like, And on the board I see 2 black Americans. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all make your own conclusions from that, but I think that's pandering. I think it's insincere, and I think it's stupid. So I hope no one falls for that. The tweet itself is pretty badly ratioed. So Andrew Cuomo's tweet has 1,400 likes and 3,500 comments. So that'll just tell you that right there. I'm gonna make a little song in response. It has to be white people music to kind of cater to all the white people that are on the board of Hip Hop Public Health. I don't know how to sing country music though, so we're just gonna try our best here. I don't want to take a vaccine. I don't think your intentions are clean. I researched the Tuskegee experiment, and I don't think your intentions are well meant. That was already 10 times better than that fuck-ass music video. So next up, we have a video interview from Vice, who is well known from being pretty liberal But I'm gonna give them a chance because sometimes they have conservatives on there and stuff. In this video, they're interviewing some guy from Columbia University Department of Medicine. He is Dr. Stephen A. McDonald. Guessing off his appearance, he's probably biracial like myself. We have a similar complexion, similar hair color and texture. I don't want to assume though, but yeah, this guy definitely has some black in him. So actually, Tariq Nasheed posted this clip. It's like 15 seconds long, but somebody DM'd it to me, so I'm gonna take a look at it. And here we go.
You can think of the vaccine almost as medical reparations. It's the 40 acres and a mule.
Wait, pause. Reparations? The vaccine is reparations. I know this nigga did not just say 40 acres and a mule. Play that back.
You can think of the vaccine almost as medical reparations. It's the 40 acres and a mule, but of 2021. So we really should be giving this vaccine preferentially to people of color, I do believe.
A vaccine is not reparations. People of color aren't entitled to reparations. American descendants of slavery, people who have been discriminated against for hundreds of years, are the ones that need actual reparations. Not a vaccine and not people of color. I hate the people of color brigade. I feel like this commonly happens with biracial people, such as myself, because this guy is clearly biracial too, who think that they have to kind of overcompensate for the piece of them that's not black, and they just want to kind of hug everybody, encompass everybody. Oh, we want to be accepted too, so let me just bring the people of color in. Let's bring the Latinos in. Let's bring the Asians in. Let's bring the Middle Easterns in. No, dude, this is a black issue. I understand that maybe you feel the need to prove your blackness or something, but saying buzzwords like medical reparations and 40 acres and a mule and people of color, this is not the way. This is a scam. It's not like this guy is some rando off the street. Like, this is a medical professional. That video is just unacceptable. I can tell this guy is well-meaning, but he is severely misinformed, and he's possibly a useful idiot being used to trick black people into getting this vaccine under the guise of reparations. This is stupid. So you can see how they're using certain black people to pander to the general black population about these vaccinations. Run DMC, I guarantee, did not come up with that rap and produce that video. It was the white people on hip hop public health, okay? The light-skinned dude from Columbia being interviewed, he is not the person that originally came up with, oh, this is medical reparations, this is 40 acres and a mule. I guarantee his white boss said something like that. And I guarantee this whole thing is run by liberals. So what I'm saying is, just because the doctor is black, just because the rappers are black, doesn't mean that black people should automatically trust the vaccine. And I'm not telling you to not trust the vaccine. That's really up to you. All I'm saying is there are very valid reasons for black people to not trust the vaccine. And the more that people resist that fact, the more that people blame it on other reasons besides actually listening to black people's concerns about this shit, and going back into history and looking at things like the Tuskegee experiment, you're not gonna win. You're gonna lose more and more people because these posts, these videos online are being ratioed by black people. We are not hearing that shit, all right? This video was slightly different than the ones I usually make. It wasn't as political, but I think COVID in this day and age, it is very political inherently, and so is race. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will stick around on Rokfin. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.